Hi, this is Vitaly from Builderius. In this video, I'm going to show you how to create dynamic navigational menus inside Builderius templates. For the purpose of this video, I have created a navigational menu. Here I have both parent and children items. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to display all these items inside the template. Let's open templates page. Let's open, I actually have opened sample template here. So it's not a problem to create a static menu like this one. But these items are just static links. They cannot be managed from the backend. In this tutorial, I will show you how to create actually manageable dynamic menu. So we will start from creating a proper GraphQL data var to fetch the data of the dynamic navigation menu. I have opened global settings, then I open data variables modal window and I create a new one. Its type should be GraphQL, and then the name will be, it can be anything. I will call it like now menu, like this. So it's actually the easiest part. But overall it's not hard at all the tutorial, you know. So let's type query, then we type now and it gives me the suggestion about now menu. Okay, then I open curly braces and then I have to write items. Again, curly braces, there are a lot of suggestions over here. So inside items, I actually write the specific data that I would like to be fetched for each navigation menu item. So for each item, I would like to have URL and also title. Okay, and then also if we will be displaying children menu items, so I also need children items, so I write children, then again curly braces, and I repeat those fields that I would like to have for parent, also for children items, because I also need URL and title for each children. Okay, so now it shows me there is some validation issues about now menu. It shows me like that because I didn't specify the name of the navigation menu that I will be fetching data from. So in this case, first I choose identifier. I also can type it in, of course, and then I write name. So I will be identifying my menu by name, and then I type value, and then here I should provide the name of the navigation menu. So let's check. Let's go to the menus. This is the name of my navigation menu, so exactly this name should be inserted here inside the double quotes. Let's check what the data it gets by clicking on update data. Okay, so here I have now menu items, then I have my 3 items. The first one is for home and there is no children, and this is correct. The second one is sample page parent, and there is 2 children items. For each of them I also have URL and title. Yep, everything is correct. And then we have the third parent, featured post, and 3 post hello world. And this one, yeah, everything is correct. Everything is here, so my data is already inside the template. So now let's display it. Now I have at least 2 possible ways to display this data. The first one is to use collection module, because it can display array data, array type of data. And the second option is to use dynamic UL list. So let's try with dynamic UL list, but let's keep in mind that exactly the same flow works for the collection. I'm choosing dynamic UL list just because it's more suitable for navigation menus, and that's all. So let's open, let's create the root module now, and we will call it navigation. It has tag nav specifically. Then I put it here, sorry, like that. So let's scroll up. Now we don't see anything now, but we actually have this now tag element here. This is what we have. This is our navigation. So let's add, I will keep DevTools open it just for quickly show you what's going on inside the HTML actually. So we have navigation, it's our wrapper. Let's add a dynamic list, dynamic UL list module. This is the interactive module. It accepts a JSON as a data, as its content, JSON data. So in this field I have to insert the template tag with my variable, data variable, that has the data for navigation menu. I click on this icon, then I look for now menu items. I choose copy unescaped and paste it here. Okay. Now we have interactive module with content inserted, but we don't see anything yet because there is nothing is displayed yet. So we have UL tag. This is the standard HTML element, UL list, unordered list, but enhanced with some JavaScript. This is why it's called dynamic UL list. So let's add a template. Now I'm starting to build the exact presentation of my navigation menus. It's very flexible because I choose which elements to display and in which way, and then later with what styles. It's very flexible, and I actually can build anything. I can build a simple menu, I can build a mega menu, everything is possible. So let's start from the simplest version of my navigation menu. I click add module. Dynamic UList accepts only template as its direct child element. So click on template, and let's rename this template to parent item, because this is the template of the parent item. So let's just like put some order inside the structure. Then I click add module and I choose anchor element, which is a tag, and actually we can see immediately there is a 3 items. So let's inspect them. What we have here is UL, and then it's immediately 3 anchor elements. Let's bring some dynamic title and URL inside this anchors, because now they just display the static text click me. It's not actually our navigation items, right? So here I should use local variables like this. I will be using double curly braces because I would like to display escaped data here. So I put title, and here I will be using triple curly braces because for URLs I will not be escaping, because sometimes it just break URL, so it's better to use it like that. URL, so where I get these elements, these names, a title and URL. So exactly here where I have the data for my navigation menus, under items, for specific item I have keys URL and title. Since I use data variable that is this one item, this array items, sorry, it's items array, right? We have 3 items here and then also sub items, of course, but 3 parent items. And as local variables I use the keys of these parents items. So title and URL. Okay, but the data has not been changed yet. For this I have to go to dynamic uList and click reinit like this. Now I see my final names for my navigation items. I mean home, sample page and features post. Let's check it. Yeah, exactly, home, sample page and features post. This is what we have so far. Let's just change a bit the stylings. Let's choose display flex and flex direction column, and then let's also add some padding, because just to make it a bit fancier. So I will put 2M here. Yeah, that is better. Okay, it's not the very proper use of unordered list, because I should have a list item as children for my UL element, right? So let's fix this. In this case I would like to add a list item element. Here I will choose generic block, and then I call it list item like this, and then I put anchor inside the list item. And now let's check what it gives us. It gives us div and then a, so we just have to change the tag name here to Lee, and then go to dynamic list, click reinit, and now we have unordered list and then a list item element and a element inside. So pretty much we have our navigation menu already. It's a proper HTML structure, and it's a dynamic data and actual real links here as provided in the inside this UI. So this is the most basic example of using of creating a dynamic navigation list. We can also make it even more simple. Let's duplicate this dynamic list, and then instead of using the structure like list item and anchor that I used specifically because I would like to construct each element separately. So I've chosen generic block and choose a lead tag for it, and then since I use a generic block here, I have a possibility to insert a child nested module inside it, but I can also do it like this. Since I have a list item model, I can use it. It's fine when I have probably when I have only parent items, because in this way I cannot actually add children items, but for now we are talking about only parents. So I have added list item module, and here I provide the exact HTML I need to be displayed. So we remember it's a list item, so it's already li. Here I can it says item because there was a static text here, and instead of item 1 I can write a, then my attribute, then the same way I provide URL, and then I write title inside the anchor element like this. Close this model, go to dynamic list, reinit, and here I have exactly the same structure but built in more simpler way. So here I have a parent generic block as li and then anchor, and here I just have one model list item with HTML that brings anchor with dynamic data, and the final result is the same. So here we have ul element and then li and then a, and here we also have ul and then li and then a element. So this is the most basic example, actually even two of them. Now let's talk about how to add the parent items. So for the second example, it's not really possible to add sorry, I said parent items. I wanted to say children items. So for this second example, I don't really have a possibility to add children items. It's very complicated in this case. So I actually will be using this example. So first of all, I have to add the template module. So with the help of template module, I'm go to the one level deeper. Each children template can go one level deeper. In my case, I have two levels. One template module is already added. This one, this is parent item. Maybe it's better to rename it to template, just to give a clear notice that this is template module. Okay, and now I'm going to create the second template for children items. Now we have children and template. Then I should write the special attribute that is called data section. By the way, how do I know this? Because I have docs and everything is explained in the docs. So if you have any doubts, let's open the docs documentation. We can open modulus, then dynamic ulist, then there is an explanation how it works. It's written that it's the same as for collection module, and then we also have this explanation about attributes which can be used along with this module. This attributes for the module itself, dynamic list, and then these attributes are for a template module inside the dynamic list, and here we have data section and the explanation what it does. So in case of any doubts, please go to the documentation page. In this example, I write data section data attribute for my template module, and then I write here children. Children is the key where my children items are located for navigational items. So here we have key children with empty array in this case. For the second item we have children key, again the same key but with some data items inside, and the same goes for the last item. So I used this key children to go one level deeper and display the data that is under children key. So data section children, okay, and then since it's template, I build it like I did before for the parent item. In this case, I know that I don't have the third level, so I actually can use this method and basically duplicate and relocate it here, list item. Now we have this structure. As you see, there are many more items now. Now we have also children items. So children item A1 and children item A2 for sample page, the same as we set it here, the same data. Let's check its structure just to understand how it's aligned inside the HTML. So what we actually have is all items on the same level inside UL dynamic list. Well, the good part is that we have our dynamic data displayed on the page, but the bad part is that it's not actually the desired way of displaying for this specific case, because I don't want to display everything like it's a first level. I really need to distinguish that some items are children. So let's do this. Let's add the UL, but unordered list, but not dynamic one, but just regular one. So I go to the, and this UL list I would like to insert inside the list item of the parent item. So this my parent list item. I click on plus sign, add module, and then I search for list, and actually this module I actually don't need it because it adds same as list item, it's just it's not container. So let's choose generic block and just choose tag name UL like this, and then I should name it like UL for children items like this. And then I should use it probably here after the anchor inside the item, and then inside this UL I should put this template for children items. So let's check our output. Actually, I don't even need the inspector. It's clearly seen that the color of the items has been changed, so it's actually a different list now. But let's inspect it actually. So now we have Li item, then Encore, and then UL list, regular one with children list items. So in this case I can do something like this. So I can apply advanced styles. I can create a CSS selector and not this one, but probably this one. No, UL is dynamic list itself, so should be like that, if I'm not mistaken. And then let's add margin 2M. Yeah, exactly. So with this CSS selector, I have targeted children unordered lists. I have added some margin left just to visually distinguish them from other items. Okay, not bad, actually very good. So there is only one problem with this approach. We can fix it. So we have a list item here, and here you can see the empty unordered list. So the problem here is that for the first parent item we actually don't have children items. However, we still displayed this unordered list even if we don't have these items, just because we have this UL inside our template. So our template draws it anyway. So how to make it conditional, and how to make it how to not display this empty unordered list if there is no children. It's actually very easy to fix. Again, we need add module, and then we need template again. So template module is a very special module. It's inside interactive modules. It is used for displaying the array of data and also for adding this conditional displaying logic. So here we have template. Again, I need special data attribute. In this case it is data partial. It's called data partial, and again it's all explained in the documentation. Here we have this attribute. There is explanation what it does. There is explanation about the difference between data section and data partial. For data partial data attribute, I have to provide the expression, some logic expression that actually returns true or false, and based on this, the whole structure, the whole template, everything inside this template module will be shown or not shown. So in this case, what I write is I actually would like to display my UL list for children if the children array data is not empty. So I write logical not is empty. This is the expression function, and then as argument I put inside children. So if it's not empty, then this template will be shown. This is how it works. This is my expression. It will return true if children key has some data, and it will return false if children key has no data and it's empty. So I open it again, this template module with my data partial attribute, just because I wanted to rename it to make things more clear. So we have displaying logic. Let's write it like that, and we put it before UL, and then all the structure UL, and then children template and children list item we place inside the template with display logic name. And now it should be okay already. Let's check. Or maybe we have to reinitiate dynamic list. Maybe it's not the case. Let's check. So my second item still has children items. I see them here also in the structure. Let's open the first item. Okay, now it's very good. So the first parent item has only A and it does not have empty unordered list. This is how it works. So even if I go here and click reinit, it does not change anything. I just make sure that everything works correctly. There is no empty UL, and here we have UL, fill it with my children items.